Hello, and you're watching News Insider 24/7. After the abrogation of Article 370 and 35 in Jammu and Kashmir, major political parties in Jammu and Kashmir have boycotted the elections, and they said we will not contest the elections until we restore the special status and Article 370 and 35 in Jammu and Kashmir. But when the central government announces the date of DDC elections, which is the third year of panchayatiraj, all political parties jump back into the ground and contest the elections. So today we have with me Mr. Vikram Sharma, who is the CEO of News Insider 24/7 and a senior journalist of Jammu and Kashmir. We will discuss today how DDC election will benefit to people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, Masood.
Mr. Vikram Sharma, you are welcome.
Thank you.
So please elaborate how DDC election will be benefited to the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
See, Masood, as we know, before this panchayatiraj system came into practice in Jammu and Kashmir, it was only elected governments which ruled erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. But there have been some intermittent delays also when we had governor rules. There have many times when we had governor rules in our erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, and presently we have governor rule in the JKUT also. But for the panchayatiraj system, there has been a lot of demand from the people to have a panchayatiraj system established in JKUT. It started with the elections of the panches at the ground level, and then the sarpanches, they were also elected. At the time, same thing happened. Many political parties had, desisted from conducting the elections on various grounds, saying we won't be contesting elections because, as you know, our erstwhile state as well as JKUT is a disturbed one when we talk about its status. What things are going on in our state regarding militancy and other factors also. Likewise, when Panch and Sarpanch elections were conducted in JKUT, that was the first year of the Panchayatiraj. Panchayatiraj is we won't call it a governance. It cannot be a governance as a whole, because in a democratic process we have a elected government, and that elected government has a chief minister, then cabinet ministers. As we all know, we have MLAs and all that. But for this panchayatiraj system, there was an urgent need. Why was there so urgent need to conduct elections about panchayatiraj? Was to empower the people at the grassroots levels, and particularly to the ruralites, the villagers, so that the power as well as the development could percolate to the grassroots levels. This is a very, the essence of panchayatiraj is ages old. It's centuries old, Likewise, after the, independence of India in 1947, in Jammu and Kashmir particularly, there was never a cry or a hue for the panchayatiraj system. But for this government, the present dispensation at the center, they had this agenda on their manifestos, and they had assured the people of JKUT that 73rd and 74th amendment, which creates the panchayatiraj, will be given to the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. In this process, as I told you earlier, Panch and Sarpanch elections were conducted. Later on, it was BDC, Block Development Councils were, the elections for the same were also conducted, and they had a elected chairman to it. That was the second tier of this Panchayatiraj. Now this is the final tier. It is District Development Councils elections, and with the completion of the third tier, the entire Panchayatiraj system will come into practice in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, there is a sort of, we won't say there is a misconception about it, but there is a general opinion that there will be two governments. It's not like that. There cannot be two governments. Panchayatiraj will empower people, rural people, villages at the ground level, grassroots levels. And we will have an elected government when the time comes. But presently it's not, because it's a governor rule in JKUT. Likewise, since a day before yesterday, the elections to this DDC have completed, and now day after tomorrow the results will be declared, and we will have an elected block, these district development councils. 14 blocks in each district and the chairman to each. Now, how this will benefit, as you asked Mr. Masood, how it will benefit the people, how this Panchayati Raj will empower the people on the development front also. This is a very important question which you raised. It's like that when DDC elections, the DDC results will come out, a DDC chairman will be elected. He will have the powers, or she will have the powers at the helm. And now, important things, the funds which come for the Panchayati Raj, they will be given by the central government, and as far as I know, these funds will be placed at the disposal of the DCs of each district, and those funds will be transferred to the chairman of the DDC, and from there, the system of, percolating these funds to different levels for the development of the villages. Now the development of the villages depend on roads, water supply, electricity, schools, and some schemes for the women also. And then importantly, our villages are farming lands. Farmers are to be taken into consideration, and for that, how the DDC will this Panchayati Raj will empower the people.
But do you think that it will work? Because after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, the people of Jammu Kashmir is totally living without a basic facility, that is 4G. People are demanding for 4G, but Central is not taking any action on it. How could you see this?
Yes, 4G is one aspect. This is an internet thing, 4G. But yes, you are very true. We are deprived of many things. The people of Jammu and Kashmir are deprived of many things, and that it is due to some security reasons also. And whenever the government will feel.
But on the other hand, they are providing the geofibers, broadband internet to every corner of the city, every corner of the villages. But
you are quite right on that account also. Government has its own plans, own systems. Yes, 4G system through geofibers.
But do you think that people will trust the central government? But in some conditions, they are providing broadband internet. On the other hand, they are restricting the 4G internet.
Trust factor. In a democratic process, in a democratic system, trust factor is very important.
Today we will discuss all the things, because public is watching us.
Yes. I'm very much support your opinion about that. About the trust factor, what you talked, Masood, because we elect our people ourselves. That because we live in a democratic setup, and we elect our MLAs, our ministers, cabinet ministers, and even prime minister and chief minister also. But then we have to follow the things, certain things for certain states, UTs, which the central government thinks is necessary for them. Likewise, you were talking about the 4G. 4G is an important factor. I can understand. Children are, being deprived of their studies and all that. They don't get the exact speed of the internet. Their studies are being hampering.
Because on the other hand, we are suffering from this coronavirus disease, and all the colleges and institutes are closed, and they are learning from internet.
Yes, you are very true. Entire system is now dependent on internet. It's not for the students only. All the corporate business, suppose there is a little bit of corporate business in J&K also, it is also suffering, and even the government offices are suffering because they are on the BSNL and they are getting those things. Fine, you are very true on that account. But then when when government thinks the position is not right, the system is not right to provide this 4G internet, they are up to it. Whenever they will feel comfortable to give us 4G internet, they will be giving it. But for the Panchayati, I will shift the focus to the Panchayati Raj, which we are talking about. So I told you earlier there can be a misconception about the people about the governance on this Panchayati Raj, but you cannot say that Panchayati Raj gives privilege of governance to the elected members. It's not the governance. It's only a set of people who have been elected through Panchayati Raj, through Panchayati system, who will at the helm of the affairs to get the funds, get the development works done, and give empowerment to the grassroots people of the villages. This is the one thing. And importantly, my one point on which I sometimes feel like saying that We have been in this erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, and we have witnessed many governments coming to our state, maybe in coalitions like NC Congress or BJP, PDP, and whatever will come in the next. Now people have to understand when they have elected their MLAs, their representatives in the assembly for last more than 70 years since independence. Now when panchayatiraj system is going to be in place in rural settings of J&K, how this panchayatiraj will benefit the people and how will people get benefit out of it, that is very important. It's only it's only in its infancy stage right now. Let's see when the system completes, when the panchayatiraj come in full practice in UT of Jammu and Kashmir, and when the funds, important things are funds. If the funds go to the appropriate place and the funds are utilized at the appropriate place and the development works are visible after the panchayatiraj has come into the practice in our UT, then we will find, yes, panchayatiraj has done its it has gone into its real genesis as what was expected from the panchayatiraj.
Okay, so central government announces the DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir, but after the abrogation of Article 370, Jammu Kashmir is totally disturbed and people of Jammu Kashmir is totally confused. What is the next? But the assembly has been totally dissolved. Okay, but they said central government must announce the dates of assembly elections, but they announced the date of DDC elections. So how could you see this?
Government has played a good role, I must say. Central government has played a very good role. They have conducted a part of election process, and very importantly, you haven't seen any rigging, you haven't seen any large-scale bunglings or something like that. Yeah, there have been some instances of that is a general practice among the people when the voting comes into the force, but the entire system has been completed. Sarpanch have been completed. Now block development councils.
You mean to say that the panchayatiraj will be completed after the DDC elections?
Yeah. Yes. The day after, when the results come out, the entire system will come into place. It will come into the place. What I told you.
Do you think that central government will announce the assembly elections dates also?
I don't think so. Right now, it is appropriate to announce the dates for the assembly elections. But when the governor, our governor have seen the process taking place of panchayatiraj elections in a very suitable manner, in a very nice manner, there can be a change of opinion among the central government also. They can announce the assembly elections, but that is a little bit far away we cannot right now talk on that, but it's a little bit far away. Yes, we have a democratic setup. Ultimately,
but the opposition blaming central government and BJP that they are doing practical in Jammu and Kashmir. If they will success in DDC elections, they will contest. They will try to announce the dates of assembly elections in future. But do you think that what is the analysis on it?
Opposition parties, yes. Suppose they say they have conducted these DDC elections. Now they are well settled with the system. There have been no hyper hoopla among in the system. There was no large scale bunglings or something like that. If the government have seen, now opposition has to understand, if this type of elections have been conducted in very peaceful and conducive manner, so what's the wrong in conducting the assembly elections? But importantly, first of all, delimitation has to be taken place. The assembly in the assembly contest, there has to be.
Do you think that BJP have fear to lose assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir?
This is very premature to say. You cannot say BJP is going to lose or Congress is going to win or Congress is going to lose or BJP is going to win.
But the opposition continuously blaming BJP that they will lose Jammu and Kashmir if they will try to contest the assembly elections, if they will try to announce the dates for assembly elections, maybe they will lose, and they are not ready to lose Jammu and Kashmir.
There are always assumptions. And opposition must,
because you are also a journalist, you are also a you are also a journalist, you are doing reporting from since last 25 years, and you see the Jammu Kashmir very nearly. That what will be the facts, what will be the basic and
As I told you, Masood, ki since independence we have been witnessing different governments in our state, some in the coalition, some in the majority also, and then we have been witnessing governor rules also. Disturbed state, erstwhile state, has been always tagged as a disturbed state, but now as JKUT there have some changes popped up, and these changes are we expect.
I will interrupt you again. This is a general thing that political parties manipulating the people to get the votes in the election time. How people will understand the things and to elect the right person in right time.
See, Masood, the political parties often do like these things. There is a general thing that whenever elections come into practice, when the voting comes up, political parties come with mudslinging on each other and then manipulating people also. You're very right on that account. This is a general practice about this. But people, who's the voter, he should understand or she should understand how to elect a right person at the right time. We have been witnessing elections. We have been also into the process, me and you also. We have been also voting for the different governments. Likewise, my opinion is that a person who goes for voting in a democratic system, he or she should understand how to elect a right person at the right time. This is a franchise which we have the right for, and we should practice our right in right perspective.
Exactly.
Now as you have asked this question, now JKUT, now not as an erstwhile state, but JKUT has grown up. People have started understanding the ins and outs of the political parties. Now they are wise enough how to vote for the right person, and they are doing the right thing presently. Now I as a journalist also feel that people have now grown up. They have understood the things, they are understanding the things in between, and now as they are electing the people, as the panchayatiraj elections have conducted, they have conducted very peacefully, and people have voted for, might have voted for the right people, and now they have grown up, and JKUT is now flourishing on that account. So a message is very clear that a person who goes for the vote should exercise his or her franchise in a wise way and elect a wise person.
Thank you very much. So this was with me Vikram Sharma, a senior journalist from Jammu and Kashmir. This is all about DDC elections, and analysis is all about how it will affect and how it will benefit it to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. This is all for today. You are watching News Insider 24/7.